Question of the year.
Any different this year? Is it always the same when you come out to the first day of training?
Yeah, it's always excitement, you know. First and foremost, exciting that you get to do this for a living, you know. And I've been able to do it for so long, and it doesn't get old, which is really nice. And so, the longer you do it, the more you gotta realize that you're blessed that you're able to do it too. So, really excited, especially excited with the squad we have. You know, I'm obviously more a part of the defense, and we're bringing back most of the defense, and we had a quite successful year defensively. Obviously, in the end, it's a team sport, and we gotta put it all together. But it gives us a good building block to kind of hopefully build on top of and even get better and be more successful as a team.
Last year, what was the or how seriously did you doubt that you would be back here this year?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think I'm a very honest person. I've always made it well known that I love it here. You know, my family, we put down roots here. We built a home on Bainbridge Island. Our dogs love it there. And my wife has found a second family and a job here in the Seattle area. So we try to embed ourselves in the community as much as possible because we love it. We truly love it here. But having said that, the fact that I am still able to play and I feel like I'm able to play at a high level, I have to maximize that too, you know. It sounds silly, but I have a mortgage to pay and I have dogs to feed, especially a Great Dane who eats a lot of food. So you know, you have to. It has to make sense for everybody. And you know, having said that in that way, I think I also realize that the Sounders have to make sure, and Craig, you know, to make sure it makes sense in the long term too. Right? You know, I'm not the youngest guy anymore, so it was up to me to prove that I can play the majority of the season, which I did. You know, I think I was out with a concussion for a game or so. Other than that, I missed one game because I had finger surgery, but other than that, that was it. So I think I was able to showcase to him that I'm still able to go at a high level, and I'm happy that we're able to come to an agreement and I can stay here much longer. And it's also really exciting with the changes here. I mean, Longacres, I've said this I think a million times, I've had the pleasure of going through transition like that with Toronto when Toronto built their facility, and it's a massive improvement, and this will be the same if not more. I mean, we've outgrown Starfire. Starfire was in the beginning I think one of the better ones, but argue it's probably one of the worst ones now. You know, we're going to go move into state-of-the-art facility, and I want to be part of that. I want to be part of going to Club World Cup one more time, and so I'm excited for all those opportunities.
What gives you that new season feel? Like when you walk in, or what do you spot and say, okay, this is a new season?
You know, I mean, I try to get away from my teammates and everybody during the off season, for kind of that reason, that when you come back, you're really excited to see everybody again. You know, spend some time, or a good amount of time with some of the players, and I've grown fond of most of them. And then also there's some new players that I'm excited to get to know and hopefully gel with, and then embark on a new journey. So it's always exciting because you're kind of going on an adventure, and you know you have to go through some you know, blood, sweat, and tears, some difficult times. But ultimately, those are going to be the moments that if you can find success in the end, that's going to make all that worth it, right? Nothing worthwhile is free, and so coming back now and finding the group that you're going to go through those difficult times, it's fun, it's exciting, and again, it's a privilege, I think.
You mentioned the new names coming in here. What are your impressions or thoughts on the club bringing in Nathan and Bell, and what they can add to your defensive unit?
Well, some versatility, good, a little bit of experience. Just joking with Joao. Apparently he has something in his contract that he has to have a number of Brazilians on the team at all times. But I'm happy that he played at Zurich, so I'm going to work on his German a little bit as well, which is nice. I'm excited. You know, it's nice when you get a couple of new pieces in. It kind of reinvigorates the group. It loosens up some staleness at times, and so especially if you can bring in quality on top of that, it's great. So I'm excited they're here, and looks like maybe a couple more pieces moving, but we're looking good.
You mentioned getting away in the off seasons. What did you do specifically to get away?
I went to Mexico, got a little tan, did some whale watching in Cabo, which was awesome. Just spent some time with the family, wife and the dog. So we adopted a new dog, so our family has grown, and just get away from football, honestly.
Maybe it's the amount of tournaments, but although it's only been 2 years since the Sounders' last title win, it feels like a long time since this team really reached a big objective. Do you feel like that's the case? Does it feel that way to this group, to yourself?
It feels that way because we have a high standard. Agreed. I think that 2 years ago the highlight was winning the Champions League. Last year the highlight was participating in the Club World Cup. But that's almost like, if you were new to the team, you kind of got it for free. You didn't have to earn it. So yeah, it's time, if you want to maintain the standard, it's time that we make some moves. And yesterday we had our first meeting with the head coach and a bit of our past and our future and what we want to achieve. And I like that he put out every single trophy that we have a potential of winning this year. There's quite a few. You're correct, which is good. The more chances you have of winning a trophy, the more likely you are to add one to the cabinet. So I think we're going to treat all of them with the utmost respect, and that's the goal. I mean, a season without adding anything is I don't want to say it's not a wasted season, but you won't remember it in the long run. So that's what we're here for, and yeah, it's time to try to make another run for a trophy.
What do you think about the change of not being able to play in the U.S. Open
To not be able to?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they haven't. No, I think they changed. Well, I mean, I think they wanted to get the teams out, but then U.S. Soccer said no, right? So yeah, we're in it. Obviously, in the past, it's been a good opportunity for young guys to prove themselves, especially in the earlier stages. But yeah, we expect to be pushing there, and whoever we will be putting out there, get us through the first rounds and get us in a position to challenge for that trophy, for sure. Especially this team. We've been successful in that tournament. We have quite a few in our trophy cabinet. We wouldn't mind adding another one.
You, to that extent, though, last year you said that it kind of dragged on the season. Kind of dragged on. How do you look at the overall schedule?
It doesn't look like we're playing less. So I think that, honestly, for me, this is maybe just personal opinion, but the playoffs dragged on. The first round, I think we established a good amount of momentum, which is kind of, in past experience, is what you want. You want to build momentum and take that into the playoffs and carry you through. Well, if the first round lasts 3 weeks plus a bye week, it's difficult. So I hope they can change that and just streamline things a little bit better. I know the amount of games will not go down, so it'll be up to coaches and making sure that we rotate, and obviously the players themselves and the staff to make sure everybody's healthy. But I hope we just are a bit smarter in terms of when games are being played and in what succession.
There is a possibility that the first team won't play in the U.S. Open Cup. The first team, only the second team. Does that help to the schedule that you guys have for this season?
Well, like I said, I think they've changed that now. So it is still the Seattle Sounders as the first team will be participating in the U.S. Open Cup. I mean, who the coach ends up lining up is kind of up to him. With the amount of tournaments and league play that we're playing, the amounts of games that we have ahead of us, there's going to need to be rotation. So where that happens and when, so we have a massive staff that is going to collect data. We're going to have coaches that are going to analyze everything, and they're going to be smart about it and make sure that we get through the whole year with the whole squad.
Been a long time since you started a season without Nicolas Ladero on your team. Any different vibe with him not being anymore?
Oh, it's a bit strange. I mean, he's been here for a long time. Hard, if not impossible, guy to replace. So it's a challenge for other people to step up and take on more responsibility. That's the kind of that adventure that I'm talking about, right? You lose a few pieces, you add a few pieces, now you embark on this journey to see where will we end up as a group? Where do we want to end up? What do we want to sacrifice to get where we want to end up? Those are all questions that we're starting to ask now in the training field. Well, I'm excited for Marbella. I think that was fantastic for us last year. That's going to be a lot of pain in those 2+ weeks, but it'll be good for the team. So it's going to be difficult when we see him play in a different jersey, but we have to focus on ourselves and try to move into the next phase and see who can step up.